Alright, step number 1, get the map all discovered. I wish they made it larger, slightly larger at least, for the parts of the map that are literally completely useless. You know what I mean? Because this is just kind of a waste of time. This game is so fucking beautiful. I gotta do that. Oh, yikes.
Those craven zealots. Jacob's corporation has survived for 300
Yo,
years.
okay.
COV devils have spread across the system like a damn plague. All under the orders of those rat bastard Calypsos. They murdered my father because he wouldn't hand over our vault. And now they've come for me. Oh, those poor SOBs. Hey, Von Hunter, over here.
Sounds like TK Baja. Town of Reliance, or used to be. Home to our finest gunsmiths, central to our logging operations too. At least my father's not allowed to see it's fallen to those bandit devils. You'll find the lodge at the peak. We'll fight these devils off best we can, but I suggest you hurry.
What beautiful splatter!
Nice try! Accept your punishment!
The Great Bolt beckons! Jacobs will bleed! As long as I can hold a Jacobs shotgun in my hand, I ain't handing over Eden 6 without a fight! Come at me, you mud-sucking bastards!
You just keep going, don't you, Vault Thief? Have you considered, I don't know, laying down and dying? Seemed to work for your siren friend. Haven't heard any complaints from her.
Glad you're here. Not sure how much longer we could have held those COV zealots off.
I'm standing! Come see! The Calypso protect me!
You're driving them back. Just a few more, Vault Hunter.
I send you all to death! You are forgotten.
Nice. That guy's up. Love it. I love this guy already.
My name is Wainwright Jacobs, but I'm afraid my name's all I have left.
devils and taken everything else. Well, come on in. Help yourself to some firearms. I salvaged what little I could from my father's personal collection, but he can't use them now. His twin Calypso devils murdered him and took everything.
I'm a big
from me.
fan of Jacob's
And if you hadn't come along,
shotguns.
I reckon I'd be in the mud too. I escaped with my life, but they captured my partner, Alistair Hammerlock. Those devils are holding him as leverage until I cough up the vault key, which is also why you're here, I presume.
It is.
That vault has been a family secret for generations. We didn't want our fair paradise to be torn asunder like what happened to Promethea and Pandora. Where there's a vault, there's always a war. But right now, I've more pressing concerns than my family legacy. Alistair Hammerlock, love of my life. If they kill him, I got nothing left. If my father was still breathing, he'd tell me to march right up to those devils and negotiate with the smoking end of a Jacob's firearm. So that's exactly what we gonna do. See, that cult is holding Alistair in a prison called the Anvil. I already sent a team of mercenaries to break him out, but I ain't heard from them since. Rescue Alistair, and I'll get you that damn vault key. You in?
Oh, I am in. I am very much in.
All right. The team's muscle, codenamed Meat Slab, should be securing an escape route as we speak. He'll be near the prison's front gate. Find him and get Alistair. Out of there alive. I'll hold down the fort and protect what's left of my people. Good luck.
For Jacobs!
Now, I'm not worried about Meat Slab life. He's more of a mountain than a man and much.
Angrier. But attention span ain't his strong suit, particularly when there's punches to be thrown.
Meat slab. Oh, I hope it's brick.
Hey, how's paradise? Thought the home of Jacobs would be less, I wanna say, swamp-assy? Dangerous place, Eden 6. Reminds me of home. Anyway, the Mellow One sponsorship was a bust, but we did take a page from Katagawa's murder diary.
Nigga, this...
time, I just bammed
What a
right
cuck.
into dinner time and leached the CEO of Jacobs. Boom, done.
Can't go that way. Can I go that way? Yeah, I'm supposed to go that way.
Is a trip. Real ice queen, you know? She managed.
Ooh. What's poppin'?
In charge, you know? You know.
Ready to go?
Who dis? I'm just kind of recording my first playthrough of this. It's 11:34 for me right now. What time is it for you?
How are your last reps going? There, strike!
I always heard Eden 6 is part of the Paradise system. Well, after Promethea, I came here for a look at it. I think the changing theory would do me good.
Oops. Who are you? Your name comes up as Scarlet. So if you're someone I know, I don't know who this is, because the name comes up as Scarlet. 8:35 on your way to college. Well, I'm at college right now, actually. The Anvil. Oh, okay. Were you, the, April Ludgate Dwyer account?
You've got enemies, and I've got ammo.
I still play Overwatch a lot. I just never stream anymore. I just never bothered to stream it. I streamed earlier because I remembered to.
Something must have happened. Get that gate open, Vault Hunter.
I can climb things. Hang on.
Not long after I landed, I get an echo from Aslan de Vega. It's one echo from prison. Well, he asked me to visit and to bring him a hunk of Herculean ham for old time's sake. He's been booked for conspiracy to steal a vault. Last time I saw old Aslan was on that skywell when he tried to kill me. But I'd stolen the guy's ship, so I figured we were even. Anyhow, I went to pay old Aslan a visit.
When was the last time you watched any of my content? Because I haven't really made much content in a while. You know, I took quite a break from Overwatch, and I recently came back like a month ago. And I don't really like playing Moira that much anymore. At least I don't feel like the meta is just so different now. The game is completely different than it was a year ago. It's just I cannot play it the same way I did a year ago. And I just don't really like it. And Moira is extremely popular right now, but I don't know. Climbing up things is hard, I guess. I end up just playing Zarya because I can win games with Zarya. Yes! 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 I was hoping for Brick, dude. I was wondering when he would show up.
Hell yeah, another vault hunter. This job just keeps getting better. Help me beat down some bandits, then we'll talk.
I love Brick so much. If they killed off Brick, I'd be so pissed. They already killed off Maya, which I thought was okay. I am upset about Maya's death, but I would be a lot more upset about Brick's death.
I have no blood, so I take you.
We got Hammerlock too that we're about to save. Oh shit!
No, stay up. Got the better of you, man.
Last time was a couple months ago. Maybe two. Did you watch all my shit regular? Because I did not have... I'm very not known. Right? And so there's... I didn't really have very many people that actually consistently watched my stuff. So I didn't feel very inclined to actually, you know, keep doing it. However, there was that one person that would always, not always, but a lot of times I would have like one person legitimately, or maybe two people legitimately watching. And you know what I mean? It's like, whenever I stopped doing it, I would always think, well, I wonder if those one or two people are like actually like disappointed that I stopped. You know what I mean? I just never really gave it much thought after like 2 weeks or so. Watched most of them. Like all of the several hour-long streams? Yeah. Several hours long videos. Alright, where's Hammerlock? Let's see his intro. Oh, okay, yeah. That makes sense.
Let's get up close and personal, right?
That's the spirit.
Though, really what got me to come back was the nostalgia of just being really good. You know what I mean? And now that I'm back, I don't really think that I'm really that much stronger than 4,300. Maybe I'm 43 like 20 something on tank right now, but on support I cannot manage to actually win games. I haven't really tried much, but whenever I played Moira, I just felt like I didn't really have any impact. Or at least the way that you carry games now is, in this meta, is just completely different than it was a year ago. Because now you have to be so much more of a heal bot than you know, actually assessing when damage versus healing is acceptable. Bang stick. That looks nice. That looks nice. What the hell is this dickhead? Look at this. Freeze. Oh, he's frozen. Quick, get the shotgun. Or this thing. It is harder to carry as a healer. I mean, roll Q was kind of necessary, but I don't really think that was the 100% correct thing to do. Because of course there's still a lot of things that are just really not that good about it, or things I don't really like about it. Like the fact that, you know, there are so many situations where I'm playing in the game and I really feel like it would be really, really, really nice if we just had a third tank right now. You know what I mean? And it really sucks knowing that, you know, when you have your 2 DPS on your team, if they're not doing that well, then they'd just be better off swapping to fucking tanks. You know what I mean? They'd just be better off swapping to tanks and healers. You know? And that's why, like, DPS are mostly useless until you get to the higher ranks, because it's like, what the fuck are you really doing? You know what I mean? Unless you know what you're doing on DPS, then, like, I don't see what the point of them is. You know, like, of course, a really good Widowmaker is useful, but, you know what I mean? Your average Plat Widow, why the, you know? That's the issue, exactly. The issue is that The DPS would just be better off swapping to fucking tanks. Like,
They call me the doorman.
oh, and don't get me started on Symmetra.
I'm a lot of things.
Don't get me fucking started on her. She's a fucking mess of a character. See, the problem is that I remember back like a year, 2 years ago even, you know, if you wanted to kill somebody, you had to burst them down, right? And that's why dive meta was a thing back in like season 4, season 5. It's because people figured out that, hey, if we all focus fire, if we all focus our fire onto the same character, then they die really quickly. But now it takes a lot less people on your team to just focus fire something down. And a lot of characters, the really good characters, are the ones that can really just do that by themselves. Or at least one way to define a good character. Like Zarya, for example. Zarya is insanely good. Not only because she can save her teammates with good bubbles, and she has a really great ultimate, and she's got, you know, her kit is just fantastic. But she can, at 100 energy, do 190 DPS, and actually nerfing that for no reason. Well, they do have a reason. I take that back. But, you know, Zarya does all this fucking damage. She can melt people by herself, you know what I mean? She gets into your backline with 100 energy, and she finds your Zen. That Zen's gonna fucking die. Like, that Zen is biggity fuck. It's so easy to kill a Zen on 100 energy. It's unbelievable. Like, it's not even funny. And like, that's one of the reasons why Zen's so bad right now. It's because he just gets fucking dumpstered. He just dies. He doesn't have anything to protect himself. I really do feel bad for Zen, because I kind of want to play Zen, and he's the support that you frag on. He's the frag support, you know, the support that you're like, you know, that if I were to climb to like Masters on a fresh account playing support, I would play Zen, because you can just kill things. And that's why Zen is good, but right now he's just not good because he just gets fucking dumpstered, and his hitbox is ridiculous. His hitbox is like the easiest fucking hitbox in the game. He's just so easy to kill. Like, easiest character to kill in the entire game is fucking Zen. And that's by a long shot. And so since there's so much damage out right now, there's just so many, like, whichever team flings the most damage at the enemy team is the one that wins, roughly speaking.
You're almost there, and trust me, you don't want to keep Crunk Bunny waiting.
And since that's how the game works right now, and I mean, if you think about it, that's how it's always worked. But at least right now, it's just fling so much fucking damage at the enemy team that they cannot properly react to the amount of fucking damage. You know what I mean? Like, I can't tell you how many times, like, I've died from the most broken hero right now is Doom. Doom is... There's a few characters right now that are just kind of... Doom is one of them. And Doom's always been fucking broken. And when you think of the game in its state right now, the importance of having a character like Doomfist is, you know, more obvious. But of course, when Doomfist first came out, it was like, why the fuck does this character exist? You know what I mean? And, you know, Doomfist is good versus Symmetra, roughly speaking. You know, and it all depends on how good each player is at their hero, you know what I mean? But, with Doomfist, it's just, there's all these bullshit characters that have to be in the game to keep other characters in check. You know, so now we have this Symmetra and Symmetra is just such a fucking unhealthy character for the game. Like, people think Brig is unhealthy. Brig's okay right now, I think, maybe. But, like, Symmetra is just such an unhealthy character. She's one of those characters where she just needs to be dog shit for the sake of the game, like Bastion. Like, I don't really want Bastion to be a viable, good character, because a Bastion meta doesn't really sound fun, does it? You know, he just needs to be bad. And it sucks for the Bastion players, but, like, just don't be a Bastion player. Like, he can be your favorite character, but, like, you also have to realize and understand that, like, you cannot possibly play him everywhere. You know, Bastion is if he doesn't work, you swap off him immediately, you know? Because he's going to continue to not work. And characters like that, you know, are okay to be in the game, but, you know, there needs to not be such a uproar every single time the developers try and, like, nerf or balance a hero, because it just makes the game more fun in general. Like, everyone fucking complained about Symmetra for so long. Everybody is like, I haven't seen a hero get more complaints than fucking Symmetra. Like, Mercy had the most complaints for, like, you know, she was ranked, she was the #1 hero that everyone complained about for the longest time, but nah, Symmetra's just taken the lead in that one. She's just taken the lead. And, I mean, because people have bitched and moaned about Symmetra for the longest fucking time. And they've reworked her like 3 different times, I think. They reworked her 1 time before I even started playing the game. Oh, Birdman, that's Mordecai. I haven't been paying attention to the story, I've just been shooting things. I got on a tangent. So, I'm getting distracted. Anyway, there's a shitload of damage, and because there's a shitload of damage, we feel more inclined as players to run shit like Double Barrier. Because there's more damage, we feel more inclined to run things like Moira, because Moira does a shitload of healing, and that's why she's so meta right now. Or she's just really popular. I wouldn't say meta, because Moira herself doesn't just win games, unless, well, I haven't learned. I've not really tried to be good at Moira in this meta. In this meta, emphasis on that key phrase. Where the fuck is my shield? It just kind of disappears for a while.
Fight. Usually I'm a solo brawler. But that duet was baller. I gotta go help out our sniper. You meet up with Crockman.
Birdman. It's Mordecai. Meet Crunk Bunny. But yeah, so it's not. I guess you didn't play that much during Roll Q. I did play during the Roll Q beta.
Prodigy with explosives, but how do I say this? She's nuttier than squirrel shit.
Yeah, that's
something
Tina
for me?
he's talking about. This is, I will fucking love it. Here's where we meet a lot of old characters. Let's see this.
Move and you die. I will now read the crimes of the condemned. You kidnapped my... You moved. Whatever.
I love it. Yeah, the queue times for DPS are really high, but that's because fucking the majority of the player base are just mouth-breathing fucking DPS players. Like, I mean, and that's just the fucking truth. Like, the majority of the player base is just mouth-breathing gold and plat DPS players. You know, if you find that offensive, it's because it's true. And yeah, DPS players have insane wait times.
told me to save Hammerlock.
Okay, look, here's the deal. They're keeping Hammy locks in max security, and there's a big old door that needs blowing up. But shit's got complicated, and some bandits took my bomb. Okay.
15 minutes minimum? Come on.
So, do me a flavor and grab some toppings for this bomb-ass pizza.
What rank are you at? Getting 15-minute queues.
I know this place got the toppings I need somewhere. And Tina's got a special recipe.
Well, I'm not that great at DPS. My DPS is like mid-masters. Probably, honestly, more like low-masters. But I was getting like more like 7 or 8 minute queue times. Diamond? Well, I don't know. Maybe there's just more, I don't know. Yeah, I'm not really sure, but the sniping in this is kind of hard to do. Because you're fucking intricate movements, so you just can't do that.
Now scurry on, I shan't be timid. And then I'm like, here's a tip.
But yeah, I mean, when I queue as DPS, I'm like low mid masters, and I get like 7 or 8, and that's by myself. But if you queue, are you saying like as you're playing DPS and so is your friend, then yeah, maybe you'd get 15 minutes. But if I'm on tank and my buddy's on DPS, then yes, it's also going to be a really long queue time. Was that back in the beta or early in the season 18? Oh, you play support? What supports do you like to play? Oh shit. Because I'm sure you know I played a shitload of Moira for the longest time. I have like 250 hours just on my main account on Moira. Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, I haven't. I really should just start playing Moira now. What do you think about Moira in the meta right now? Do you think because she is good in the meta, but like as someone who plays her right now in the meta, do you think it's fun? Because I really have mixed feelings. Because I mean, for me, I think Baptiste does a little too much. She's so powerful. Her Fade is like one of the best abilities in the game. Yes, I agree with Fade. And there's so much you can do with Fade that, like, you know about Fade jumps, right? Fade jumps are fucking insane. And the thing is that, like, people always talk about Moira doesn't take skill, but, like, Fade jumps are so fucking difficult that people don't really actually consistently do them. Yeah, there's a lot of Fade jump. I mean, you've probably seen Fresh Nuts clips of, you know, fucking ML7 doing a Fade jump. But, like, and that'll give people the impression that ML7's a god at Fade jumps, but of course you never actually see all of the times he fucks them up, you know what I mean? You only see the times when he performs them correctly. But with Fade jumps, dude, some of them are really difficult. And you have to practice a lot of them, because there's so many things, like Fade, the outplay potential you can have with Fade jumps is just fucking insane. Like, for example, say say you're on like defense Nambani and you're on first point and you're on the high ground and the enemy team has a Pharah Mercy, and so what you do is you just Fade jump off of the railings and then you literally land on top of the Pharah's face and then you just suck them. Or you can not choose to suck the Pharah, and you can choose to kill her Mercy, in which case she'll have to fuck off and stop healing the Pharah. Or if you have Coalescence, you can just decide to Coalescence them, you know what I mean? And then either way, you'll most likely just end up killing both of them, because like you just fucking fade jumped on top of a fucking Pharah. Nobody's ever thought of doing that in the history of the fucking game. You know what I mean? Like, that shit takes so much skill that nobody has literally ever done that or even really tried. Or even really came close to trying. Like, that's how fucking difficult that is to do. You know what I mean? And that's the type of skill cap we're talking with Fade. Just with Fade.
So, you know, hold your breath.
And I mean, Fade has always really been that good. It's never, like, they haven't changed Fade, other than, of course, when they tried to make it fucking Fade through stuns, which is, like, the dumbest fucking thing I've ever heard of. But they did that, and they realized, yeah, that's too strong. That would just be so dumb. Oh, shit. This guy is level 23!
Not panic, beast. I've got you.
Freeze, please. He's not freezing. Bruh, stop dying. I don't know what to tell you, man. Oh no. My pet keeps dying. Yeah, and the thing about fading through stuns is there's just too many things that are just like, dude, you could fade out of literally anything except the only, okay, so to simplify it, right, the only times during an entire match where you cannot use fade is either when you're dead or when you are in coalescence. Those are the only two times when you couldn't use fade. And like, okay, that's a little stupid. It didn't matter what the fuck was going on. You could fade as long as you were not A, dead, or B, in coalescence. Those are the only two times you cannot fade. And it's like, that's dumb, especially when you consider what actually ends up happening. Like, for example, when a Reinhardt pinned you, and you are in the pin, and then you fade out of it, you gain an insane amount of vertical height off of that. So it's like, you can also use it as vertical mobility. You can walk into the Reinhardt pin, and then fade out of it, and then now I'm on the high ground. You know what I mean? You can do that type of shit, too. And then just for shits and giggles, you can walk into the pin, fade, get all the vertical height, throw a damage orb out, and then coalescence while you're in the air, and then get a 5k. And that'd be a pretty cool clip. You know what I mean? That'd look pretty sick.
Here it is! Now deliver that pizza to my sniper man. I like it.
Oh, sweet. We're gonna meet Mordecai soon, too.
That's not my code name.
It's kinda awesome.
You right. What was it again?
Bird. Bird man.
Birdie, Gertie man? Sad bird man? Bird brain? Something with bird.
Just sniper. Come on, I can't hold out forever.
I am en route to you. Birdie, birdie, birdie man.
Birdie, birdie,
Thanks,
birdie,
brother.
bud.
See you soon.
I already know who it is. And there's some other characters in the meta that I want to play, but I feel like I can't. Yo, Borderlands 3 is some shit, dude. I love this fucking game. Shit. Yo, you should honestly check it out. This game's fucking amazing. As a fan of this series, I fucking love it.
Tina, where's that pizza?
Have you ever played any of the Borderlands games? I'll spend my skills.
Maintain echo silence. Always wanted to say that. More jumps.
Oh, yeah. Let's go. Damn, dude. Talon. I love it. With the Birdman Talon. That's fucking awesome.
Hey, Sugar. Moxie here, and I've got a job for you. Those Calypso twins live for attention, right? So I say we take it away by turning their own broadcast towers against them.
Alright, well, back in 2009, they released the first Borderlands. Then in 2012, September 2012, they released Borderlands 2. They also had like a few DLCs for the 2009 one. This was back on the PS3. Then, yeah, 2012 they had Borderlands 2, which was a massive fucking game. Everybody loved it. They had 2 DLC characters, 4 campaign DLCs. There were like 5 mini little headhunter packs. Like, dude, the game was huge. Max level cap was 80. And it was a fantastic game. Fantastic. Oh shit. Then, dude, I love this fucking franchise. I remember playing the first one on my PS3 back in like 2009, 2010. I remember the PSN network shutdown of like April of 2009 or April of 2010. I remember that, where PlayStation Network got hacked for like a month or so by like a group called Anonymous, and nobody could sign in to PlayStation Network, watch Netflix, or I don't think Netflix is a thing back in 2009, but no one could sign in or talk to their friends or play online multiplayer for anything for almost a month, I think. Pretty sure it was a month. And I remember around that time was when I started playing the first Borderlands. Yeah, that was some shit. And you have to remember, like, hang on, 2009, how old was I in 2009? I was 8 years old in 2009. I was 8 years old in 2009. So I was playing, you know, some of these video games, and, you know, it's fine, really. It's fine to play, you know, violent video games at an early age. I think it is, really. Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, back then in the PS3 versus Xbox 360, I do think that, honestly, I always had a PS3 and I've never owned an Xbox in my life. But, yeah, absolutely, I think Xbox won that. Won the fight, you know. That generation of consoles, it was the Xbox 360, you know, took that one. But now I really do think PS4 is just like, PS4 is the superior console, I think, versus Xbox One. But that's only because I think it's a large part due to the original, when they first came out, you know what I mean? I remember Microsoft made some stupid idea to force people to have the Kinect with their Xbox. So you couldn't buy the Kinect separate of the Xbox. Shit. Let me see. Yeah, PS4 is better. Yeah. Yeah, it's just, it took this one. It took this round. Whew. That was kind of difficult.
Time to put my boot on the neck of the COV propaganda operation. Let's get Crimson Radio on the air.
during the release of Xbox, I remember it was like you must connect to the internet and there's not offline thing, if I remember correctly. I don't know about that, but I definitely know that they fucking forced you to buy this stupid fucking Kinect with it. So you had to buy, the Xbox was $500 at launch versus the PS4 was $400. You know, and Sony didn't force you to, and Sony didn't force you to buy some stupid, like, PlayStation Eye along with it. Because they knew that nobody really fucking cared. And so, absolutely, I'd imagine they got a large portion of sales simply because it was $100 cheaper than the Xbox. And especially when you take into account, like, the people that hadn't previously owned an Xbox 360 or a PS3, the people that decided to get a console, they would probably get a PS4 because it's $100 cheaper. You know what I mean? And I think maybe now, oh yeah, they eventually, after like a month, I think, after release, they finally enabled you to just buy it without the Kinect. Fucking Hammerlock's in a pickle, isn't he? Warden. Oh, okay. Big bad boss fight. I wish they would give us some fucking ammo machines before boss fights. That'd be nice. But, you know. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, this thing's fucking melting him. No, but I remember back on when in like the Call of Duty days, back when that was pretty big, the Xbox would get the map packs a fucking month earlier, and I thought that was such horseshit. I thought that was such horseshit being on a PS4, because I had to literally wait an entire month to play these zombies. Like, I was a huge fan of zombies back then, and I fucking dreaded having to wait an entire month before I could actually play the new zombies map, dude. That shit sucked. And then, of course, you know, once you're able to finally play the new zombies map, well, then it's 2 months, maybe, until the next one is released, and then you have to go through the entire thing again, and you have to deal with that 4 times a year, or 4 times every other year, because it was a cycle between the 2 developers. And then when they introduced Sledgehammer, I liked Advanced Warfare, but after that game, I never really got into it again, or Call of Duty. But back in those Call of Duty days, I mean, I wish I was a bit older during the Call of Duty days, because I was like too young to like legitimately be good at anything, because I was just too dumb. Now I can, on Modern Warfare Remastered, I can have like a 2-something plus KD easily every game. Oh yeah, Black Ops 2 was extremely good. Yeah, everybody loved Black Ops 2. I wish he wouldn't be puppy guarding my fucking... Yeah, it looks like my pet's probably just gonna die. Never mind, they glitched out and I was able to revive him anyway. But yeah, Black Ops 2 is the fucking shit. I love the zombies. But of course, back then I was too dumb to like legitimately be good at it. And I remember they had like a semi-ranking system, where, you know, the good players had the shotguns and kind of the decent players had the knife, or the Bowie knife, through the skull. And then you're basically, almost everybody had just the skull. And that was like the average. And I remember I was the skull, just the bare bones skull, for the longest time, and then eventually I actually was capable of getting the Bowie knife, but the Bowie knife icon. But yeah. Oh fuck. I didn't think that would happen. He does look like a Goliath. Oh god. This guy's gonna take a few bullets. Did you like Ghosts? Because honestly, I thought Ghosts was pretty good. I liked Ghosts. The campaign was fucking stupid and horseshit, but like if you just forget about the campaign, the multiplayer was... I thought it was good, to be completely honest. And that's an unpopular opinion as fuck. Nobody fucking liked Ghost. Everyone, it was everyone's favorite pastime to shit on Ghosts for a really long time. And then you know, the very next Call of Duty game that came out was fucking Advanced Warfare, which was something completely different with exosuits and jump packs and, you know what I mean, and double jumps. And everyone fucking hated it. Oh my god, dude. This sucks. He's gonna keep on fucking killing them and then leveling up. And he's level 24 now. This is a fucking disaster. He's not impossible to kill, he's just a pain in the ass to kill now. Especially since I don't have any fucking ammo, because they love just not giving you ammo before big fights. And I've opened almost every crate in here. Yeah, it's fucking fun. It's all about hunting vaults, getting fat loot. It's a looter shooter. And it's the best looter shooter there is. I mean, there's not a lot of looter shooters, but... Like, look at all these fucking mini guys that are just gonna get killed by this guy. And more of them keep on joining the battlefield, man. Don't you dare fucking level up. I swear to God. Oh God. Damn it! He killed him, and he's gonna level up again. Stop leveling up! What the fuck? God damn it, dude. This shit is so annoying. Because of course they keep on, respawning these mini fucks. And now he gets to... Jeez, I'm honestly just debating... Yeah, I'm just gonna let them kill me, and then I'll just... re-fucking start. Hold to give up. Yes, please. That's so fucking annoying, man. Because they keep on spawning. You can't just... And there's so many of them. Like, they keep on spawning. There's 4 of them. And as soon as you kill them, another 4 spawn. There's no ammo machine out here either, which is fantastic. Don't have any grenades. Let's go to the inventory. Swap this out for something. I just need... I'll just use this. You know, whatever. I just need some fucking ammo, and of course the ammo doesn't respawn. Alright. So he's back to normal level 21. He's probably gonna level up like fucking soon. Already. It's fine, okay. I have to focus the little mini guys, I guess, as fast as I fucking can. There might be ammo. Alright, so here comes some new guys. And I literally have to kill these. Alright. Oh, that's Mordecai up there. Okay, so he's supposed to do that. Oh my god. Cloud kill. Die, 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 die. Come on, come on. Nice. Oh my god, that makes me so fucking nervous. He's sitting right on top of one. I think I got him. No! Got one. Die, please. Yay! That guy's just a fucking ticking time bomb, you know? Jesus Christ. Okay, so back to talking about stuff. What did you ever play Call of Duty Ghosts? Because I fucking loved the Extinction game mode that they had in there. I thought it was fucking phenomenal. It was really fun. Okay, let's see here.
Are you feeling
Take
unwell,
that, take that, I'll take that.
Surely you're
That
up
looks
for some
good.
shooting, yes?
Oh, that looks good. Just buy any. I'll just take anything that looks expensive.
I'm free.
Our job here is done. Catch you later, Bolty Bolt.
B-team out!
Alright, let's see if he gets an intro. He probably doesn't.
My thanks, Vault Hunter. I'm not too worse for wear, all things considered. I'm glad that Wainwright sent you. Now, as to my incarceration, I'm sorry to say the one who traded me to those wretched Calypso twins in exchange for the Jacobs Corporation, that foul creature is my own sister, Aurelia Hammerlock.
Ah.
Why she sold me to the cult. Simply put, she despises me. She always has. There is no stronger bond than family, and when that bond is broken, no greater source of pain.
Family is not blood, but who you hunt with. My beasts are my kin.
Understood. That's deep.
I shall rest here a moment and meet you back at the lodge. Now that my safety is secured, I imagine Wainwright has already set plans in motion to retake his family namesake.
Nice. Nice. Return to Glenmore Basin. Alright. What do you study in college? I am at a 4-year school, so I have to pick a major. So, right now there's still pretty general classes. Like, they're major classes, but like, it's first year, so they're still pretty general, you know what I mean? So even if I go into some other field, it's likely that I'll, you know, have to take many of the same classes anyway. But I'm planning to major in physics, and I kind of want to do astrophysics and literally be a rocket scientist. So that sounds cool. And I'm good at math.
Winnie, this seems to be the end of me. I always thought I would be snapped in twain by the jaws of some slap.
Hey, I wish I can have the games keep running in the background while I open up my inventory.
Ring beast or incinerated by lava in some
No, that is not what I wanted to pick up.
underground tomb, or perhaps frozen solid while hunting a cryptid across a tundra. Perhaps seen a lot.
Alright. Where are we going again? Orbit view. Are you in college? What do you study? Since you asked me. Let's go. Dentistry, really? What year are you in? You know, are you first, second year, or what kind of... First year? What kind of classes do you take for dentistry? I imagine you'd have to have some kind of health class, anatomy class. Anatomy, but like... I imagine for dentistry you'd have to know some anatomy, but like if you take an anatomy course, you don't really give a shit about most of the crap that he's saying, because you're a dentist, so you just really care about the...
CEO of the Jacobs Corporation?
Cell
I've just been
biology.
informed that you rescued my brother. Disappointing. It's a family affair, and you've no business interfering. That said, vault hunters are nothing more than whores, so I will simply pay you to leave my planet. Come to Jacobs Manor to negotiate your price.
Fucking Aurelia.
When you see Alistair, tell him I'm rich.
Madness! Made you look. Did you hear the one about the leopard mong that was spotted near the southern shelf? Something about all leopard mongs being spotted. I don't recall the details. Ah, humor, what fun!
Idle hands, as they say.
Talk
Eden
to...
6 is such a mess right now.
Vault Hunter, you magnificent bastard. You did it. Now I am truly in your debt.
Vault Hunter, my sister contacted you, didn't she?
Yes. Aurelia offered to pay me to leave Eden 6.
That damn harpy.
Anything Aurelia offers in one hand is only to distract from the knife in the other. You set foot in that manner, she will try to kill you.
Which is why we're going.
Winnie!
Vault Hunter, you did right by us, prying Alistair from the fangs of those zealots. Now, Jacobs is true to his word. I'll get you that vault key. But that means both you and I are going into that harpy's den together. The key's been in my family for generations, but the exact location, well, that's one secret my father took to his grave. You accept Aurelia's invitation and keep her distracted while I search the manor for the key.
A jabber stole my wallet once.
Understood, understood. Okay.
Oh, I smell fresh blood.
So, anatomy, cell biology, and histology. What is histology? What is that? Is that like
But do not be fooled by the fine furs.
you have a class?
She has the heart of a bandit. She takes what she wants. She believes in nothing but herself.
What time is your
If
class?
she had the charisma of Tyrene or the cunning of Troy, she would have started her own cult long ago. She has found her true family.
All right. Well, if you're heading out, it was a good chat. Good chat. I'll probably stream later now that I have actual someone, you know, watching. Ends at 10. I have... Wait, tomorrow's Sunday. You have classes on Sunday? It's really weird if you have classes on Sunday. But I imagine some campuses would do that. I've never heard of someone having classes on a Sunday before. That's some shit.
Feel the bloodlust.
But okay. Good luck with your class tomorrow. I mean, I got church in the morning, but
Pathetic end for a pathetic
okay.
creature.
That sounds good. That sounds good. I'll be streaming tomorrow, probably. I'll be streaming up pretty late tonight, to be honest. I'm not planning on going to sleep soon. Yeah, I'll honestly try and stream more. Because I could be pretty entertaining. I have good conversations. I still got someone else watching. Revol's is still watching. Let's have a conversation. Otherwise, it'll just be me not talking. And then someone else. Alright, see ya. Take care. Go to Jacob's Manor. Ooh, this weapon's cool. It's glowing. Grog. Oh, this looks nice. This bitch is so fucking rich. It's offensive.
Buy yourself a mod for the merc class.
Ooh. Say freeze. Fast and the Furious.
Now, no one's gonna come looking for this, right?
Cancel that. It's a cool. It's pretty cool. Damn, I got some good gear. This shit's all purple and orange. It's pretty good. Alright. So I'm level 20. I wonder what level I'll be when... You know, this shit's done.
Got me a job held by the witch. Up to no good, I'd wager. Yeah, I'm Merle. Spelled like Hurl. Warlock with the 7th day left. Practitioner of the fiery arts.
Got me a right problem with this witch lives down Bog Way. I think she broke the bad. Need you to go help her
out with some chores and see if you can't find out what she's up to. Her name's Azalea Splinters, right?
Azalea.
I need you to figure out whether she done broke her vow to the pack we's in. That's packed with a capital P, man. Super secret heavy occult stuff.
I like how melee is actually a reasonable amount of damage.
I had some good times in this little hamlet. Drinking with Lonnie and his wife Margaret. Anywho, we have a few drinks, then I say, Lonnie, why'd you make me slip all the way out here?
I hate these Typhon de Leon things. They're so fucking annoying. I don't understand why his voice is so high pitched. It's bullshit.
I want to know about it, so I can keep gutless SOBs like you in here. The table, it goes real quiet. And then I say, I'll drink to that.
Yeah, I just don't understand why his voice has to be so high pitched and annoying.
Right now, beast.
Jesus. I wish the action command was faster, and also I can use it while I'm reloading. It'd be really nice. How about I talk to myself? I think out loud kind of a thing. You know, I know nobody's watching this right now, but in case anybody ever does, me talking to myself would give them a reason to keep watching. So, I don't want to talk about the game, because that's what the game I'm playing, or what I'm currently doing in the game, because that's boring shit, and nobody really wants to watch that. You know, because everybody does that.
Convinced every illiterate piece of talking meat to worship them with blind devotion. Makes a rich bitch want a cult of her own. Perhaps when my business here is finished.
A rich bitch. What is that? Nah, I don't really. It's pointless.
Got a nose for treasure, I see.
Let's talk Overwatch. What should I talk about in Overwatch? Currently I'm like 43-25 on tank, although that's honestly really pushing. I won, like, I played 3 games earlier today, and I won all 3 of them, surprisingly, because I didn't really play that well, but we won the games anyway, which is always nice, but you don't really feel like you deserve to win in those types of games. Which, I mean, you know, if you're talking about, like, why do I play a certain video game, or why does anybody play any video game, it's, I mean, even though I won those 3 games, I never really felt like I really did that well in any of them, which is okay, but, you know, having fun in video games, getting that adrenaline pumping, you want to be, like, really contributing, you know, even in the games where I lose, I still, you know, I don't really get that upset, because as long as I know that I did a shitload of stuff, you know what I mean, or I played extremely well, then I'm okay, really. You know, and I've been playing on an alt a lot with a friend of mine, and we've gotten him up to 3800-ish, I believe, and he's not bad. He only plays Moira. He can play other things, but, you know, I want him to get better, and I want to be able to duel with him in the high ranks, but, like, he's really got to put in some work if he really wants to really get better, and he knows that, and I know that, And I've told him that, and he doesn't like being told that. And, you know, when we're in games, I try and tell him just, not rude, or, you know, reminders, but, like, I'll just say, like, hey, you know, try and save this ability for this. And then I'll get upset sometimes. And I don't... How we actually became friends in the first place, I remember, was because I was really good at Moira. He was a Moira main. He was like diamond-ish. He was like low diamond. And I wanted to try and, like, you know, get him better and get him improved. And I think back then we got him up to like 37, 37, 20. Hang on a sec. So we got him up to like 37, 20, and then we just kind of got distracted, I guess, from the game, and we didn't come back for a very long time. We started playing other games. We really started playing other games. We didn't really play Overwatch much anymore. And there was a long period of time where we didn't play any Overwatch. Very long period of time. And, you know, after I played with him a lot, I started getting the desire to play on my main account. I guess I'll think about what I really want with him, I guess, for lack of a better word. God, his fucking voices are so fucking distracting. It's hard to think when he's high-pitched, just pierces any thoughts that you're having. What do I want? I want to be able to play on my main with Tucker. I want to be able to do that, but he needs to be good enough to be within the skill range. Because as it is now, you know, he's told me that he thinks that he can manage low masters, which I think he can manage also. I think he can manage low masters by himself completely. And normally the strat that we're going for is just keep me alive of utmost importance. And I play Zarya, and I get high energy, and I just destroy kids. And it's really fun playing Zarya and just dicking these kids. Like, I am dicking these masters on Zarya. And, you know, as I climbed from, we started, what SR did we start off with? We started with, like, let me set my controller down. We started off with, like, we were both low diamond. Like, my tank on that alt account was, like, low diamond, and his support was, like, 3200. So we were, like, pretty much mid-diamond. I'd say mid-diamond. And I was a solid, like, 200 SR above him. So, like, he was 3200 on support, and I was, like, 3400 on tank. I believe that's how that started. And, you know, I've climbed up to pretty much 1 or 2 games away from Grandmaster. That's where we are now. And, well, that's where I'm at. So my tank is, like, 3970. And his support is at 3,800, a little over 3,800, I think, because what ends up happening is if I'm 3,400 and he's 3,200, and we play exclusively with each other on those 2 roles, eventually what will happen is our SR will be the same, no matter what. I mean, if you play enough games, of course. Because since I'm a little bit higher rated, I'll get slightly less, you know, points for winning than him, and I'll lose slightly more than him. You know what I mean? Because the games are... Yeah. So I don't know how many games that'll take, but right now we're like a solid 150 SR apart. Maybe a little less. And I wish I could check right now, but I'm in a stream. and I would have to quit Borderlands 3, and I want to keep playing Borderlands 3 here.
Right on time, Vault Hunter. Please do come in.
But what do I want? I want...
That woman can make even proper hospitality sound sinister. But go along with whatever she says while I search the cabaret.
I'll be with you in just a moment. Wait for me in the dining hall and we'll discuss.
So, he really can only really play Moira, and he needs to be able to play other characters. And for his own benefit, it would be really good if he just stayed in Masters for a little while. And the thing is that, like, it'll take a long while. It'll take longer than I stayed in Masters for. You know, and that was in itself like 100 hours of in-game playing time within a 2-month period. You know, you have to grind to actually get to see results in Overwatch, especially when you know, his mechanicals, his aim is getting better. It is getting better. His stats are getting better. He is just getting better over time. But the thing is that, like, you just have to play a lot, you know, to get to that point. And one thing is, for me, I had to deal with getting mad at myself for not doing a specific thing. And honestly, I'm going to have to start dealing with that again, because on Zarya, in order for me to break the next, you know, skill gap in order to actually climb, because for my own sake, I need to stay at 4150, 4200 for a little while before I can actually start climbing again. And, you know, there's several of those little walls that you have where you need to just stay at this certain elo for a little while and just practice, you know. And, you know, I had one at low diamond, like through 3K, like 3050 or 3075-ish to 3250 was like my first little wall where I stayed in diamond for a long time, really. And I realized then that it was really important for me to learn new heroes, or not to play the same hero, because, you know, that's not really good. It's not good to just play one hero, because then you have an issue with, like with that Tucker has, where, you know, his Moira is like 300, 400, maybe 500 SR above any other hero in the game, you know. And that's not good, and that's the dilemma he's in right now, and I'm not entirely sure how to help him, because for someone like me, I mean, you could say, well, how about I get on alt and I just play heroes that I've like never played before, heroes that I would be like 3300 on, you know, and I would play with him for a really long time, you know, and really grind out some games, and then we'll slowly get better, both of us, you know. And that is a good idea that could work, but really the only heroes that I would really actually be 3300 on are some of the DPS, and even then I think I could manage low masters. I really don't think that I'm literally diamond on any heroes, to be completely honest. Even on Widow, I think I could make masters. I really do. And also, I don't want to play DPS, because essentially what DPS is, how would I get better on DPS? Well, I would basically just have to get better at aiming. For a lot of the DPS, that's how it is. You know, on Widow, hit more shots, consistently hit more shots, you know what I mean, make meaningful picks, and all of the game sense I have, which is enough to really to put me at 3500. But the aim is, you know, not really gonna cut it. My aim on Widowmaker you know, is not really that good. And here's the, like, my aim is, like, fucking ridiculous on heroes like Moira and Zarya and Diva. Like, it's fucking ridiculous. Like, my tracking on Zarya is insane. It is really, really, really good. My tracking on Zarya is, like, literally 4,400, maybe 4,500 tracking we're talking here. Like, it's near perfect. It is near perfect. Like, Pharah's in the sky, I will bzz, Genji's, I'll bzz, you know, and Lucio's, the hard ones are Pharah, Genji, Lucio, you know, and basically whenever I need to be hitting my shots on an enemy, I'm 90% of the, high 90% of the time I'm hitting those shots, and I will fucking dick them because I'm accurate on the Zarya. And if I'm high energy, then you're also fucked. But honestly, if I'm not high energy, I'm probably not going to be that accurate, because the fact that I'm not high energy will fuck with my brain. It fucks with me. Like, if I get several bad bubbles in a row, then I can't really function. You know what I mean? One or two bad bubbles will lead to another one or two bad bubbles, and I'll just play like shit the entire round, and that's no good. But, you know, anyway, the only issues that I have are minor issues with aiming, and that's on heroes like Lucio and Genji and sometimes Pharah. I will hit shots. If Pharah is inside of my 15-meter range, I will shoot at her. I will prioritize her. I will it's to the point where I even feel confident trying to actually legitimately kill Valkyrie Mercies. And those are hard to actually track because they move so fast. But, you know, it's a Valkyrie Mercy, so, like, it's not going to be perfect. But it's pretty good. And especially if the Mercy, like, flies in a straight line. Like, I'm going to track her, you know. My tracking is very good on Zarya. It is very good on Zarya. And then, of course, on Moira, it'd be even better because... Actually, it's a little different. I can't say that... I want to know... Because the thing about Moira and her damage is that it is kind of a semi-lock-on. But the thing about Zarya is that her beam gets thicker. They're actually nerfing it so that it doesn't, which is stupid, but whatever. I believe it used to be like 0.3 meters thick. I think that's the radius and not diameter. But if you think of it, I've got to look at Moira's wiki. Because if you think of Moira's damage lock-on, instead of a lock-on, but you think of it as a really thick beam, and you think of it like that, what would her beam range or her beam thickness be? I wonder if it'll say anything on the Moira wiki, but probably not. It'll probably just say that it'll lock on. Which, like, of course it does. Everybody knows that it does. Is this 50 per second, 30 per second heal, max 20 meters? It actually doesn't even say anything about it being a lock-on. Oh, dude. Dude, this pisses me off about what they say about Fade. It says the move speed is plus 250% and the max range is 15 meters, but like, no. I don't think so. Movement speed is 5.5 meters per second in Overwatch, and then when she's in Fade, I believe it goes up to like 14.7. I believe it used to. What's 5.5 times 2.5? Or 5.5 times 3.5. Yeah, that is not 250%. If it's additive 250%, that'd be 5.5 times 3.5, which is 19.25, which is way too fast. Either they're rounding, they must be rounding. Yeah, I don't know. Movement speed. They love saying things like plus 50%, but like don't do that. Don't give me that. I don't want to know plus 50%. I want to know actual meters per second. Plus, that's not even how fast it is. It's like 9. I swear to God, her movement speed used to be like 9 meters per second. Yeah, she can't crouch in them. People are just really bad at Moira, dude. People just suck dick at Moira. I honestly really want to play on an ult and play Moira, so I'm gonna do that. Well, what do I want from Tucker? I want him to actually put enough work into becoming better at Overwatch, because he'll enjoy the game so much more when he does. And a lot of his frustration from the game comes from him just not being at the level he wants to be. And that's the problem, is that, you know, he's not as good at the game as he is intelligent, which is the issue. You know, and especially when you're playing characters like supports and tanks, that's something you want. On DPS, it doesn't matter. You can be a mouth breathing keyboard and mouse. You know, you really don't have to think that hard when you play DPS. But even then, the really good, you know, DPS players, they still have brains, at least partially. You know, but yeah, the issue though is that the vast majority of the player base is just mouth breathing fucking gold DPS players. You know, and yeah. And see, the thing is that, you know, compared to actually average, you know, Tucker is a lot better than average. You know, which is, you know, it's a feat in itself, but like nobody really gives a shit if you're slightly above average. And even if you're really good and literally the best at a specific character, like I was with Moira for a period of time, no one really gave a shit. I mean, some people did, but nobody's, you know, nobody really cared, which is why I stopped streaming for a long time. But, yeah, I want him to get better, and I want to help him get better, but also he needs to be willing to get better. You know, I mean, I could do, like, VOD reviews, I guess, especially with the replay system. We could do VOD reviews. But, you know, he has to be open to criticism. And taking criticism sucks. And I don't like taking criticism either. But, you know, I'm more of a person to think about, watch my own VOD review, and then, or I mean, watch my own VOD, not VOD review. Review my own VOD and then assess what I could have done better at each individual point in the game. And I'm sure Tucker can do that too, but you know, your own assessment is limited. It's only so limited, and he would really benefit from a perspective from a player like me. So, I mean, one thing he could do is just play what's meta, and Moira is pretty meta right now. She is very strong right now. She's not, I wouldn't say she's strong right now. She's just good because she's a symptom of, you know, everything else in the game. You know, it's like if I'm playing Mercy and my teammates are dying because of lack of healing, you know what I mean? I need to go swap to Moira, and that's the thing. Is just the other supports just can't do enough healing. Baptiste can, but he's too hard to play. So Moira's, you know, Moira's the pick. And I mean, like, he doesn't need to learn other supports, really. But the thing is that, like, he needs to be able to play at least two. He needs to, because sometimes you really just need to be able to play two. Because you can always guarantee that you'll be able to play one or the other. And that's really all you need. And so, like, for me on tank, I play Zarya and Sigma. I don't really ever need to play anything else. I do sometimes still play Orisa. And I do sometimes try and play Hog, but my Hog is so fucking rusty. I mean, like, I used to be good at Hog, but now I cannot land hooks anymore, dude. And I really have to... I don't want to put in... I'd like to be good at Hog, but I don't want to have to put in the several, like, tens of hours of practice into actually getting consistent hooks anymore. I don't want to do that. So, and I'd also like to be able to play Diva and Reinhardt and get better at all these different characters. But they're just not meta right now. I could try and play Reinhardt in Diamond with him. Maybe we could tank... Well, no. I'd have to... I don't know, because what was really beneficial is since we started in mid diamond, you know, mid diamond was pretty much a joke, but as we got, you know, higher in the elo, you know, we were adapting to what the players were like, and eventually we just started to... We rarely lose. I mean, together we have like a 75% win rate, I think. And yeah, that's pretty fucking good. That win rate is pretty insane. And the only games we lose are the ones where our teammates are just throwing, or they're just bad, or they are just... There was one game we had where everybody was just being toxic and blaming each other. Nobody was taking credit for any faults. Literally everybody was blaming each other. Like, there were at least 3 people, other than us, just blaming each other and arguing, like, the entire game. So those types of games are just L's that you just have to take and just move on. GG, go next. And I was starting to get to the point where I should start practicing instead of just, you know... Because the thing is, like, me on Zarya in low Masters, high Diamond, I'm just gonna shit on him. And it's not even practice. It's not even practice. That's the thing. But in high Masters, that's some practice. You know? For me, at least. And, you know, Tucker is literally at his career high right now. He's literally at his career high. He has never been this high in Overwatch before. So this is completely new territory for him. And I remember the feeling of pushing your career high like that. I remember that. I remember that shit. It was like, you know, you kind of didn't want to queue because it's your career high and you want to preserve your rank. But then at the same time, your rank literally doesn't matter because no one gives a shit about your mid-masters career high. You know what I mean? So I just bit the bullet and I just kept on playing, trying to get better, and it benefited greatly. It benefited greatly. You know, because if I was a bitch, you know, and just played once or twice a week to push my career high when I'm in like 3,400, you know, like, come on. Even I knew that, like, I wasn't that good at 3,400, so. But when you get to like 4,400 and you're trying to push a career high, that's something completely different. And you're playing a character like Moira, who you can absolutely reach a maximum potential on. It's really feasible. And someone like Zarya, too, has a maximum potential, and hers is a bit higher than Moira because she just does more damage. Her kill potential is better. Carry potential is higher. And that's the thing. A Moira and a Zarya duo, what SR should we actually theoretically be able to achieve? As a duo, I think the Zarya player should and would be slightly higher than the Moira player, simply because Zarya can just win games better than Moira. She's better kill potential and better carry potential. But with a Moira, I've already shown in the past that 4,500 is feasible and doable. And it took a lot of effort. It took a lot for me to reach that rank. It took a lot. I don't know if Tucker can do that. At his current state, no. But, you know, he's got to put in the work. You know, because from where he currently is, 100 or 200 SR away from him should seem very, very, very possible and very practical to get to. You know, and so you have to really take things at like 100 or 200 SR at a time. You know what I mean? And don't get nervous whenever you're about to reach a new milestone. Don't let your career high, you know, give you performance anxiety. You know? Because I remember feeling that like the very first few times I broke my career high. Like when I was like in Plat, you know, pushing my career high. Back with, oh, I remember those two guys back in Season 4, Minato Jonin and Lethal Shadow. I'd do it with those two guys. One of them would play Pharah, the other one would play Genji. They were pretty decent. And at least decent for Plat. They weren't really that great at the game. I think Minato made mid Diamond. Lethal broke Diamond once, and he deleted me on the friends list a while ago, so I have no idea what he's doing. And Minato too, so they're completely lost. Fragments of my memory, which is a bummer, because that shit was nostalgic. And you know, it kind of sucked because those two were pretty cool guys. We just played Overwatch together. We just loved playing the game. We queued. We just played together, man. And that's, you know, what it's all about, really. Just having a great time playing with friends that you met online. We didn't really know each other's names. We didn't know each other's backstories, really. We were just three dudes just having fun playing some Overwatch and winning. And it had to come to an end because my goal with the game was not to stay, you know, at 2,900. I had to be better. I had to be really good at the game. I longed to be in the highest tier in the game. I longed to be, you know, in the top 100, top 50. You know, I wanted to reach those high ranks because prestige, just knowing that I can do it, was enough to drive me to do that. And I had to say goodbye to them at one point because once I got out of low diamond, I was unable to play with them ever again. Because those two would never actually manage to climb more than a few hundred SR, which is pretty much just a lucky win streak. You know, just a lucky win streak got him up to 3,200, you know, and he just went right back down, really. And it's kind of sad, you know, because if you think of it from their perspectives, they're like, damn, dude, he's in the big leagues now, you know what I mean? And we can't play with him anymore. That sucks. You know, it's like they were kind of mourning, I can imagine, because it was kind of fun. It was fun. And, you know, for me it kind of sucked too, but I just had to forget about it, because, you know what I mean? Like, I remember when I started playing with them, they thought I was a Smurf. Like, they seriously, legitimately thought I was a Smurf, because I would play Zen, and my aim was pretty decent in an FPS, so I would kill things, and I was pretty good at Zen, you know, and, yeah, because my aim was already, when I first started the game, my aim alone was just low masters, at least, for any character, and it kind of still is low masters for any character, and you know, they seriously thought I was a Smurf. I'm like, no, I'm not a Smurf. I'm just gonna climb, you know. I'm motivated to climb. And then I started treating the game as a sport and not a game, and I started really trying to improve. You know, I played a lot of Zarya and Diva, some Reinhardt even, and I played some Lucio, some Mercy. I was very familiar with a lot of the heroes and the tanks and supports, because I would just play all of them, even if I wasn't that great at them. And I actually liked playing Mercy because of the res. The res was fun. Her ultimate res. But everyone was bitching and moaning about it, which, I mean, yeah, it kind of sucks. It kind of sucked to play against. Yeah, it just kind of sucked to play against. It was a little too powerful. Like, I mean, come on, you can res your entire team. You know what I mean? The enemy team can blow 2 or 3 ultimates to kill your entire team, except for the Mercy, because she's running and hiding. You know what I mean? She's literally just hiding, then she comes out and flies and reses everybody, and then it's like, well, great. We just used 2 or 3 ultimates just to win that, you know? Now we don't have anything. And that shit was why it sucked. Which, yeah, and that's just incredibly powerful. You can counter 3, you know, you can counter several ultimates with literally just res. It was BS, but I liked it because you didn't have to be the little bitch that ran away and hid, you know what I mean? You can heal your team and avoid flankers, you know, and live while also keeping your team alive. You don't have to say, hey, die close to each other. You know, you just played. Anyway, I want to get on my ult, but I don't know. Maybe if we didn't stop playing Overwatch, maybe Tucker would be at the skill level he wants to be. But it's not just something that's just gonna come naturally. You know, you can't be cocky. You can't be what's the word? I noticed this with him though, where, you know, if we're facing people that are just like 200, 300 SR below him, he just gets really cocky, dude, and it's like, you know, I can easily tell when he gets cocky. Also, sometimes he gets the thing that sucks is that he knows that he needs to work on other heroes, and I know that he needs to work on other heroes, and I want him to work on other heroes. However, whenever I see him playing pretty much anything other than Moira, I get the impression that he's throwing and he's given up, because that's kind of what he does sometimes when he gives up. When the game's a throw, he'll swap off Moira. You know, which I understand. I understand completely. You know what I mean? I understand that completely. Hell, I would do that sometimes on my main account, you know? I don't think I've ever seen him swap off Moira because the enemy team is so below his SR that he doesn't even think it's necessary to play Moira. Maybe he's done that once or twice, but I can't tell. But the thing is that if he wants to get better at Moira, fuck, man. Because the thing is that, dude, who should I don't know what heroes I should play to try and improve with him. I don't know. Maybe I'll ask him, hey, would you want to completely stop pushing your SR and just stay here and literally just try and practice other heroes? Like, literally just practice other heroes. That's it. And do this a lot. You know what I mean? Just do that a lot. Just try and practice other heroes. Get some time in on other heroes, you know? So I think that's important. But of course, what that would do is that would, you know, that would lower RSR, you know? He'll have to come back and break his career high some other time, back when he's stronger as a player, you know, and you know, when he's got a few more heroes under his belt, then it'll be a lot more feasible for him to climb. So yeah, that's it. I'm gonna get on my ult now.